In the previous video, we discussed that strings are objects and demonstrated the split method. Now we'll look at a number of the other methods of the string class. Remember that strings are immutable, so none of the string methods modify the string with which you call the method. All the string methods return a value, so you want to either assign the result to a variable or use the result as part of another expression. Table 5.2 of the book shows a number of the string methods. In Python, all the names of the string methods are all lowercase. We'll use the debugger with this example program to demonstrate some of the string methods. I've created the string s1 with 4 words. We can use the len function to check the length of it. Also note that len is a function, not a method. We do not write s1.len as we would if it were a method. All the other examples we'll look at in this video are methods of the string class. We'll call the ljust method, which left justifies a string in the specified number of spaces. Since s1 has length 19, this inserted 11 spaces after fox. Note that s1 is still the original string, since strings are immutable, and we assigned s2 to hold the resulting string. Because the font used in the variables view is a proportional font, it looks like fewer than 11 spaces were inserted. But I'll call the len function with s2, and we can see that it has length 30. The rjust method right justifies the string in a specified number of spaces. We can see that it inserted spaces before the word the. The center method centers a string in the specified number of spaces. For each of these 3 methods, if the number of characters you specify is less than the length of the string, you get back the original string. In this example, if we called any of these 3 methods with a parameter value less than or equal to 19, we would get back the string the quick brown fox. The 3 strip methods remove any whitespace characters from the ends of the string. Remember, the whitespace characters are spaces, tabs, and newlines. We'll call them with s2, which is the centered string. The strip method removes whitespace from both ends of the string, so s3 is the same as s1 after calling s2.strip. The lstrip method removes whitespace from the beginning of the string, so s3 has no spaces at the beginning of it. The rstrip method removes whitespace from the end of the string, so s3 has no spaces at the end of it. The capitalize method returns a new string in which the first letter is capitalized. If the first letter is already a capital letter, or is not a letter, the same string is returned. The title method returns a new string in which the first letter of each word is capitalized. The upper method returns a new string in which the entire string is uppercase. The lower method returns a new string in which the entire string is lowercase. Non-alphabetic characters are not affected by these methods. Numbers and punctuation do not change. The count method returns the number of occurrences of a string. In this example, we have 2 O's. The find method returns the index of the first occurrence of a string. If we call it with O, we get back 12, as the O in brown is at index 12. Don't forget we start counting with index 0. You can optionally pass a second parameter indicating the index to start searching for the string. Since we found the first O at position 12, we'll pass 13 as the second parameter, and it returns 17 since the O in fox is at index 17. The rfind method works the same except it starts at the end of the string. This first call will return 17 since it finds the O in fox. In the second call, we pass the indices between which we want to find the letter O. This is telling it to search for O from the end of the string using indices 0 to 16, so it will find the O in brown at position 12. You can also call find and pass strings with a length greater than 1, and it will search for the entire string. In this case, we find QU starting at index 4. If you call either of the find methods with a string that is not found, it returns -1. The replace method replaces each occurrence of the first parameter with the second parameter. You can also pass it strings longer than length 1. This example also reminds you that you can call methods with constant strings. The next example shows you that since the center method returns a string, we can then call upper on that result. It centers the string in 30 spaces and then converts it to uppercase. We've already seen the split method, which returns a list of strings. The join method performs the inverse operation. You call it with the string you want to use to join the list together. Note, because it is a string method, you call it with a string and pass it a list of strings. Because of this, it is common to use a constant string when calling the join method. The parameter you pass it must be a list of strings. If you pass it a list of numbers, you will get an error. Because the split method removes consecutive copies of the separator character, You may not get back the exact same string if you call split and then join. This example has two spaces between the and quick for S1, and it also contains a new line. When we call split, we see that all the spaces and new lines were removed and are not in the list of strings. Thus, when we use a space to join that list, we do not get back the original string. There is just one space between each word. Another common use of the join method is to take a list of strings containing the letters in a word and join them with an empty string. This will produce a string with no characters between each letter. We'll see another example of this in our next video.